Good morning and welcome to On the Money right here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your WDBO app. If you want to join the conversation, it's a conversation that I consider pretty joinable because we have two great certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group here on the air today on the Money, as this show has been on WDBO for over 30 years. And that may sound like a lot, but when you got the experts with over 400 years experience combined inside the four walls of Certified Financial Group, well, that is something that you may want to just pay attention to, because we have Certified Financial Group, Wynn Smith and Joe Bert joining us today, as they have for the only financial call-in program of its kind. Wynn, Joe, how are we doing today?
We're doing great, Josh. Thank you for the kind intro. As you said, we are here to take calls, or have been now for 30 plus, going on 40 years, calls from our listeners here in the Central Florida area, things that might be on your mind regarding your personal finances, decisions that you're trying to make regarding long-term health care, regarding a mortgage you might be considering, stocks, bonds, real estate, mutual funds, IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, life insurance, annuities, all the things that Wynn and I and the 14 other certified financial planners here at CFG deal with day in and day out, providing retirement planning and investment advice for a fee. But on Saturday morning, we are here for you absolutely free. So if there's anything on your mind, things you might have heard, questions that you have, decisions that you're trying to make, the good news for you is the lines are absolutely wide open, and you can get in line by dialing these magic numbers.
The numbers are 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO, or feel free to send in your open mic question or comment using the open mic feature inside our WDBO app. Today's topic is how to build wealth in any economy, master the basics of money management.
There you go. In any economy, and the economy is going up and down, sideways, tariffs, inflation, all that stuff that we're dealing with. But before we get to the topic, I see we have a caller here, so let's not keep Bob waiting. Let's bring him in.
You got it, Bob from Orlando. You're on with Certified Financial Group.
Good morning, Bob. Thanks for calling. What's up?
Thank you. I just want to understand the new rules for Social Security starting in April. There's been a lot of misunderstandings, and I just wanted clarification.
What have you heard?
Well, the changes as far as going online or having to go to the office. Is it just for changes, or what about people that have Social Security, have had it for years, there's no changes? Do we have to go online or go to the office, support who we, our identity, or what?
No, if nothing has changed for you, there's no need for you to be, because we'll have millions of people lined up outside the Social Security office. My understanding is that on April 14th, that if you want to apply or make some changes, then it needs to be in person, because, Bob, you've probably seen or heard about the fraud that's alleged out there with people getting Social Security checks that are entitled to them, and the fraudsters, from what I understand, from what I heard for some of the people that are doing the Doge, is that 40% of the calls the Social Security gets are from fraudsters that are trying to get the Social Security check rerouted to someplace other than the retiree. So what do you think, Wynn? Is that what the rule is?
Yeah, it's Bob, I don't know if you know, but you used to get your Social Security statement mailed out to you, and then they came up with the online portal where they're trying to drive as much interaction with Social Security recipients through the portal. So it's anybody who cannot use My Social Security. So if you can't get through the portal, then your only other option is going to be to go to an office, physically go to an office. So they are encouraging people to register. They've enhanced the verification process to stop some of the fraud that Joe is talking about. But yes, if you can't do it online, you're going to have to physically do it. They're going to be cutting back on the phone calls.
But to answer your question, if you're a Social Security recipient and nothing has changed in your life, there's nothing you need to do.
Very good. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Appreciate the call, Bob, and have a great weekend. All right, today's topic, Wynn.
All right. Well, Joe, as you mentioned, with all this uncertainty in the economy, there's just certain things that we can do regardless of the economic conditions. And these are just basic money management type concepts that we can do in and out of bull and bear markets or whatever's coming down the pike. And the first one is just to live within our means. So if don't spend everything you make. Have a little bit left over, because if you're living above your means, time is working against you. You're digging a deeper and deeper hole. But if you're living below your means, you've got discretionary income, which you can do other things with. So you can save and invest. You can build up an emergency cash fund. So life will get better if you live below your means. It's going to be harder and harder for you to keep up.
Well, I've got a little expression there.
Yeah.
If your outflow exceeds your inflow, the outcome will be your downfall.
Oh, I like that.
So, I mean, that's basic stuff. I mean, if you're spending more than's coming in, you can't live like that, unless you're the government and you can print money.
Well, I mean, you can borrow. I mean, people will loan you money up to your ability to repay them.
That's correct. That's true too.
So you can, but the problem that you have with that is that, is the compounding effect of interest. It's either working for us or it's working against us.
Right.
And it works against us on the debt side. It works for us on the saving and investing side.
Right.
So that's the main thing right there. Just always live below your means, regardless of what happens. Just that's a habit to get into. It's interesting, though, to see savers, when they reach financial independence, a lot of times have a hard time enjoying their money. They're so
used to it.
Yeah,
Right,
that's just so ingrained.
But it's better to be that way than face retirement and have no money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Obvious.
The other thing to do is automate your savings and investments. All right. So, and stay consistent with that. I mean, if we're going into a recession, or if we're going into a downturn, economic downturn, and you're still saving or investing money, that is actually a good thing if you're still in that wealth accumulation phase, because you're buying things on sale.
100%. And that's the mindset that you need to get. Bad news is really good news if you're in the accumulation phase, because you're buying more stuff when it's on sale.
Exactly. And if you're in the distribution phase and the market going down or the economy going down hurts you, then you're not properly positioned with your nest egg.
Now, some of your portfolio may go down, but the key is you have to be structured so that when you need that cash, it's available.
Exactly.
And you're not selling things when they're down, because there's no way to be a long-term investor and not experience times like we are right now with the markets in a correction mode. But if your portfolio is structured properly, you'll have the liquidity in your portfolio to provide for those cash needs that you need, and that's why you don't sell when it's down. That's the only time you lose, is you lose when you sell. You sell when things are down, and unfortunately, our emotions take over, and we do that, and then we wait till things go back up, and then we buy high and sell low, and that doesn't work well.
Exactly. And it's funny because people all the time say, well, I lost X amount of money today. Well, did you get out of the investment? Did you sell it? Well, if you didn't, it's just a paper loss. And again, it goes back to your long-term strategy and not being able to, or not having to tap into that until you're ready.
Right.
The other big thing is to have emergency fund. The emergency fund is so important because, as you were mentioning, having that liquidity so that you don't tap into certain things at certain times. And also, it gives you the ability to have more efficient use of your insurance premiums, because you can have deductibles.
Yep, for sure.
And then also, just those unexpected, those financial shocks that come up in life at all points in life. Just having the money there to take care of those without having to go into debt, without having to whip out the credit card at 18, 22% interest. Just having that emergency fund is so important. In fact, that's typically one of the top financial goals you should have if you do not have an emergency fund, is to try to develop one.
And the problem is you get that so-called emergency fund, and that money is sitting there, and it's tempting. It's burning a hole in your pockets. You want to get that television.
Yep.
You want to take that trip. You want to do whatever. That money ought to be sacred, that you don't touch it unless it's a really emergency.
That's a good point, Joe. A lot of times we'll structure emergency funds in tiers, and we'll make each tier a little harder to get to than the previous tier. So in other words, you would structure that so that, you've got some money in maybe a money market account or a savings account for maybe your first tier or second tier, but maybe your third tier would be a CD or a bond or something that would have some type of penalty, or something that you'd have to hold on to for a little bit longer.
Good point.
All right, and then the other thing you can always do is always be thinking about how to diversify your income streams. We hear a lot about the gig economy and how people have got side hustles going and things like that, but it's always a good idea to try to diversify your income streams, even if you're doing that through your investment portfolio with interest and dividends, maybe rental property, picking up a side gig, part-time, something like that, something that produces money If you diversify, that diversification concept, which is so important in wealth creation, also applies to income. So if you have the ability to do that, that's a good thing.
Yeah, without question, diversification is the key. As our clients have experienced here this last quarter, for the most part, we're still in the black because of the diversification, despite what's going on in the market. And that is the key, to be diversified across different asset classes and have investments that are what are called negatively correlated. And because if they're not negatively correlated, when things are good, everything's great, but when they're bad, they get ugly like they are right now. Negative correlation is important in building an investment portfolio.
Yeah, and with technology and everything going on today, it's easier than ever to get some type of freelancing thing or to do something on eBay or Etsy or any of the, there's tons of websites, there's tons of things out there where people can pick up extra cash.
Right. You got it.
Of course, then the other thing is, we kind of touched on this, is invest wisely and consistently. The consistency is the key there. The wisely is to keep your eye on what the goal is. So if it's long-term that you're saving for, then you're in this situation where you want to stay involved in equities and some of those more volatile or some of those asset classes that you're rewarded for that volatility over the long run.
Right. You got to remember there's a distinction between savings and investing. Investing is for the long term. Savings is for the immediate need you have, like building the emergency fund. I see we're up against a break, Josh, so take it away.
You got it. If you want to call in, 844-580-9326. We got Wynn Smith and Joe Bert, two certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group, taking your calls, guiding us through another great hour of On the Money. We get at the open mic feature inside the WDBO app. If you want to leave a recorded message for the team, maybe pick their brains a little bit on your own time and have them answer it when we can play it back live on the air. Open mic inside the app, or call in now, 844-580-WDBO. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial Group.
For 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Our fiduciary approach of providing retirement planning and investment management for a fee seems to resonate with our clients. But don't take my word for it.
I knew a gentleman that I worked with who had come to Certified Financial Group.
A friend of mine recommended them, and they were totally correct how good they are.
I had heard from somebody else that it was the best one in town.
I've sent several of my teacher friends here.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. You may be new to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries and providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Black Monday, the dot-com bust, 9/11, and now two wars. We've pretty much seen it all. Acting as fiduciaries, our CFP professionals have been a steady hand guiding our clients to and through their retirement years.
No reason to be worried about anything.
Stay the course. You stay the course and you get there.
I don't have to worry about it like I know a lot of people look at it every day. I don't have to do that with the team here at Certified Financial Group.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Are you tired of trying to reach your advisor through a call center and being put on hold for 20 minutes? That's why we don't use one, and our clients seem to appreciate the personal touch.
They always answer my questions and really care about what's going on with me.
You can trust what they say, and they do what they say, and it gives you a comfort feeling it's hard to find in the world today.
Waiting for you to call almost. You almost feel like that.
We're Certified Financial Group, but we're planning tomorrow, today.
an investor, you want peace of mind. You need to know that your advisor is not only thoroughly competent, but also a fiduciary. In other words, he or she is acting at all times in your best interests. You need to trust your advisor, regardless of how much money you have to invest or what part of the world you're in. It might not be your money you're entrusting the advisor with. Perhaps you're a board member of a charity or foundation whose future depends on prudent investment. Or perhaps you have the responsibility of making investment decisions on behalf of other people. As the trustee of a retirement plan, the decisions you make can have a direct impact on the lives of your employees. Whatever type of investor you are, the solution is to use an advisor certified by the Center for Fiduciary Excellence. A CFEX certified advisory firm demonstrates its adherence to a global fiduciary standard of excellence, a defined standard with specific criteria covering 21 best practices. The documented, repeatable processes and the evidence-based decision-making that CFEX demands are more likely to generate investment portfolios that match client needs and expectations. And because the firm voluntarily agrees to a rigorous annual audit, investors can rest assured that their advisor continues to work to the highest professional standards. This independent verification is even more critical for trustees and investment committee members of retirement plans who are legally required to conduct regular due diligence on their service providers. Use a CFEX certified firm, and that job has been done already by an expert at no expense to the plan. So why leave anything to chance? Insist on working with investment professionals you can truly trust. Insist on using a CFEX certified advisor.
Welcome back to On the Money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your WDBO app. Your chance to hop on the air with Wynn Smith and Joe Bert, two certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group. We got some open lines right now for you to hop on board. 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDBO, or send in your open mic using the free WDBO app. We got some of your text questions coming up, but before we get there, I believe we wanted to wrap up our topic at hand.
Yeah, we do. But before we even get there, I want to, I keep forgetting that our listeners can tune in to the studio here and see Wynn and me if you're interested. What's going on here? If you're so inclined, you can go to Facebook and go to On the Money Podcast, and you can catch us right here in the studio and watch how we make the sausage, so to speak. So, yeah, Wynn, let's wrap up that topic.
Yeah, Joe. So we were getting into talking about investing consistently during the ups and the down times. So there's a thing called dollar cost averaging, and that is where you're taking advantages of downturns. You're buying more of an investment with the same dollar amount in a downturn. You're buying less in an upturn, and the way you create wealth and make money is you buy low and you sell high. So that's a systematic way to do that without any input on your part.
And that's exactly what you do when you're adding money to your 401k or your 403b on a regular basis. It's coming out of your paycheck regardless of what's going on in the market. You're taking advantage of those dips when they occur, and you're buying, hopefully, you are buying low and the price goes down. So, yeah.
And then you mentioned diversification. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. You want to kind of spread that around a little bit, depending upon what your time horizon is and how sensitive you are to volatility. And then the last thing is to take advantage of tax advantage accounts, like you mentioned, Joe. I mean, if you've got an IRA if you've got a 401k or 403b, you're eligible to participate in. If not, you need to do an IRA, because our biggest expense over our lifetime is taxes. So anytime we can be tax efficient, that is a good thing.
Yeah, trying to save money with a tax break, really turbocharges what you're going to do, because you get a tax deduction today and the money compounds and grows for you without being taxed. So using your retirement plan, whether it's IRA, 401k, 403b, 457, whatever it might be, to the maximum allowable, that's what your target ought to be. That will get you far and ahead than 99% of America out there who doesn't save anything, and when they do it, they save it the wrong way.
Right. So, and then take advantage of these economic. We don't have control over these economic cycles, but we can take advantage of them by by rebalancing. So when things are going well and a certain asset class or type of investment has grown as a percentage of your portfolio, you want to kind of whittle that back a little bit and put it into the asset classes or the investments that have not has done as well to get you back into your balance. And that again is a disciplined way when you're managing your nest egg to buy low and sell high.
And that's exactly what we do here at Certified Financial Group, and actively managing our clients' portfolios in terms of rebalancing. And rebalancing is the key. And that's how you take advantage of things when they get out of whack and you have 60-40 portfolio, and over time perhaps that 60% is now 70%, simply because of what the market is doing. It's time to rebalance, sell some of the winners, buy some of the losers, and reset the cycle. So and it's also an opportunity to perhaps restructure things. If you need some cash today, it's a good way to do it while you're rebalancing.
And another thing is during boom times is be careful and don't overextend yourself with debt, because the good times aren't going to be here forever, and you don't leverage yourself up too much during the good times, so that way you won't be over leveraged during the bad times.
As we know, right here, the bumper music. Josh, take it away.
Consider it taken. 844-580-9326 is the number if you want to call in and speak to Wynn Smith and Joe Bert, two certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group. 844-580-WDBO, or send in your open mic using the free WDBO app. Your text questions coming right up as well here on the Money, where we're planning tomorrow
Today
with the Certified Financial.
So you guys don't know Chicago, but I'm sure in your neighborhood you guys have an old school butcher where you walk in and there's a bunch of guys, no gloves, big white aprons, and there's Frank and there's Stevie and there's Mikey. And these guys know more about meat and more about animals and more about cooking the meat than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in and you say, hey, Lou, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal? Oh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak. Just came in yesterday from Montana. Skirt steak is one of my favorite, marinated up a little bit. It's fantastic. Lou will never say to you, Elliot, it's a little long on the meat here, big guy. Your cholesterol is getting high. Why don't you go down to the fishmonger a couple blocks and have a nice piece of salmon? Right? He'll never do that. Why? His job is to sell me meat, and I go in, actually the same way I go into the Toyota dealership, because I like Toyotas, and I trust the salesman to sell me a good product if I trust him. And the fact that he's got my interest at heart vis-a-vis my expectations for selling me that thing. By the same token, when I go to see a dietitian, I know she's going to look at all of my labs, she's going to take all the measurements, she's going to run all of her analysis, and she's going to absolutely give me her best thinking on what's best for me. Whether she's a vegetarian or a meat lover, likes this, likes that, if she thinks I should be doing something differently, even if it's not good for her, she's going to give me an opinion that's for my interest. So what's the difference between a fiduciary and the brokers? Well, these are dietitians, these are butchers. It's that simple. Brokers are butchers selling product. Fiduciaries are dietitians looking after your health. The problem is most people think that their butcher is a dietitian. So when one of your moms or dads or friends calls the broker and says, I got 200 grand, I sold a little piece of property, or I got some inheritance, what should I do with it? They're going in thinking they're talking to a dietitian, and they're really talking to Lou the butcher.
What is a fiduciary? When it comes to investing, a fiduciary is legally required to act in your best interest. For 40 years, planners at Certified Financial Group have been guiding our local clients toward financial peace of mind. The rest of the world is still catching up, but our team of certified financial planners are the local, experienced fiduciaries you can trust. Certified Financial Group are your Central Florida planners. Call us today.
40 years ago, I had a dream of building the best personal financial consulting firm in Central Florida. Now, with 14 certified financial planners acting as fiduciaries, I believe we're there. But don't take my word for it.
As we approach retirement, we have the freedom of choice.
Peace of mind that we now have. That's everything to us.
The people that work here are honest and caring, and I feel like I can go to sleep at night.
So schedule your no-obligation visit today at financialgroup.com, or we're planning tomorrow. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries, have been providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're a certified financial group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. Our fiduciary approach of providing retirement planning and investment management for a fee seems to resonate with our clients. But don't take my word for it.
I knew a gentleman that I worked with who had come to Certified Financial Group.
A friend of mine recommended them, and they were totally correct how good they are.
I had heard from somebody else that it was the best one in town.
I've sent several of my teacher friends here.
We're a certified financial group, but we're planning tomorrow, today. You
Welcome back to On the Money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your WDBO app. Sitting here on the air on a cloud nine right now with my buddies Joe Bert and Wynn Smith, two certified financial planners with the Certified Financial Group. If you want to call in right now, we got some open lines for you to join the conversation. It's not every day you're sitting on the couch next to some financial planners with the Certified Financial Group. So if you got a question, now is a great time to join the show. 844-580-9326, 844-580-WDVO, or you can send in your open mic using the free WDBO app. Joe, Wynn?
And I saw we had a text question floating in there, but before we get to it, I want to remind our listeners that on Wednesday, April the 9th, a week from Wednesday, we're doing another workshop from 6:30 to 8 here at our Learning Center here in Altamont Springs. It's getting long-term care planning right, smart approaches for people of all ages. You know, the thing about your medical needs and your medical insurance needs in your later years is really confusing for many people. A lot of people have misconceptions as to what's covered, what's not covered, and what you don't want to do is be surprised. I can remember when, I don't know about you, but I remember going to the hospital and visiting grandparents and aunts and uncles back when I was a kid, back in the day. And, you know, you went to the hospital and they stayed in the hospital until they were able to walk out.
Yeah.
You know, they were there for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes a month, you know, until they were, were able to literally walk out. And today, you know, if you're still breathing, they've done what they need to do. They put you in a wheelchair, put you on the curb, and somebody's going to come pick you up. And then what do you do?
Right. Get you out. Yep. As quick as they can.
Exactly. It's simply because of how their medical system has changed, what Medicare covers and doesn't cover. So all this is going to be covered and more at this workshop coming up on April the 9th here at 6:30 to 8 p.m. in our Learning Center in Altamont Springs. If you want more information about that, go to our website. That's financialgroup.com. financialgroup.com. Click on events there and workshops, and you can make your reservation right there online. We could do it here in our Learning Center. We can accommodate 30 people very comfortably, serve some refreshments, and I guarantee you'll walk away with some information that could save you or perhaps your parents or grandparents some heartache and grief from that, and I'm sure money somewhere down the road. So once again, that's a week from Wednesday, April the 9th, right here in Altamont Springs, 6:30. And go to our website, that's financialgroup.com. So I saw we had a text question there, Josh, so take it away.
You got it again. If you want to join in, 844-580-WDBO. Open mic inside the WDBO app. We got a text question that said something I wish to say one day. I just inherited a low six-figure amount of money. What should I do?
There you go. Well,
well, that depends. I guess a low six-figure, Joe, what would that be, like 300,000 or less, probably? Okay. That would be the first question I would have, and I guess there's really not enough information to tell you what you should do, but let me kind of tell you through, maybe take you through a thought process or a series of questions. So the first thing we do, how much money are we talking about? Second thing is how important is that money to you, or how relative is that money to you? So if it's say you inherit $100,000 and you're making $200,000 a year, that's a very different answer than if you inherited $300,000 and you're making $30,000 a year. So that's the first thing. The second thing to do would be to look at your overall financial situation. Do you have any high interest debt that you need to get rid of to take care of that windfall? The other thing I would look at would be protection needs. Do you have the adequate amount of liability limits on your homeowners, renters, or car insurance? Do you have adequate life insurance? Do you have disability insurance? Do you have medical insurance? I mean, all those protection type products, those need to be in place. That's the foundation of any financial plan. And then I would look toward my emergency fund. I mean, maybe you want to shore up your emergency fund a little bit, maybe go from 3 months to 6 months of expenses, or maybe even more. And then I think I would look at my long-term goals. So if you haven't been saving enough for your financial independence, maybe this would be an opportunity to kind of get that going, or to bolster that some. And then I think I might look at maybe something that would be something fun, or something that I wanted to do, or something like that. What do you think, Joe?
I think you did a great job of really summarizing CFP 101. I mean, really, that's what it's about. You want to look at, you have that money coming in. How does it relate to your overall assets? If it's a small portion, then, it really doesn't make much difference. But if it's really a significant portion of what your total investable assets are, then you look at your debt. As you said, look at the debt, and be sure that you don't have any of that high interest rate credit card stuff hanging around. Kill that. And then look at those things that you can't control but can really destroy your financial future. And that's what happens when you die and is your family taken care of, you become disabled, or if you become sick. And then your automobile insurance and your home insurance. Be sure, because if you lose those things, whether it's your health, your life, your house, or your car, that really changes things. And next thing is, what was the next thing you said? I was rolling on a roll here. I got to number 3.
Shoring up your financial goals, financial independence, or something.
And then look at your retirement situation. The best way, as I said before the bottom of the hour there, is put money in your retirement plan. And you inherit a big chunk of money. You can't obviously put it in a lump sum,
right?
But you can increase what you're contributing to your retirement plan and live off that money that you inherited. So max out your contribution to your retirement plan, and this way, and then you get a tax deduction on top of that. So once again, everybody's situation is unique. What you don't want to do is go on and buy yourself a new Maserati or something, and then you drove out the showroom lot and it's worth less than when you paid for it, and you look back and what that opportunity do? And really, if you inherit that money, it's an opportunity perhaps to really set yourself up well. The thing is, you want to be smart about it. 100%.
Great point, Joe. And a lot of people, they come into a windfall and they think, oh boy, I've got all this money and lifestyle's the rich and famous. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of these luxury things that they purchase, they have high maintenance costs involved.
Yes. I've seen this on a few occasions, that people come into a windfall. We have some lottery winners as clients, and if you don't plan on what you're going to do with that money, there's a generous streak that runs through a lot of people's hearts, and all of a sudden they start giving the money to kids and grandkids. And before you know it, what their opportunity was to really set themselves up comfortably for retirement is out the window. They've done some wonderful things for their family members, but they've really messed up an opportunity that they've had for themselves. So there's a trade-off there. You really need to understand the pros and cons. of that decision that you make. So don't let the emotion get involved. And that's the role of a certified financial planner, really, is to show you what you can do and really maybe what you shouldn't do.
Well, and a lot of times I know what we'll say to a client is like, you're emotionally attached to your money. I'm emotionally attached to my money, but I'm not emotionally attached to your money.
There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's always good to have that objective opinion.
Right. So I saw we got a text question there. Josh, take it away.
That's right. I went from a question I'd love to always say to one I don't say too soon. Betty wants to know, Betty just got laid off. What can she do now with her 401k?
Well, typically you have three choices with your 401k. The first choice would be to leave it alone. Most 401ks, though, will have a minimum balance that if you have less than that, they will force you out of the plan. So if you've got above that minimum balance, it's typically around $5,000, you could leave it. The other thing you could do is you could roll it out into an IRA or Roth, depending upon whether you had pre or after tax contributions. And then the third thing you could do would be to roll it over into a new 401k as when you get a new job. Now, Betty, I don't know how old you are. There is a caveat here. If you roll it over into an IRA, you're subject to a 10% penalty if you have to tap into that money prior to 59.5. If you leave it in your 401k, though, you can actually alleviate that penalty down to age 55. So if you think you might have to tap into that money while you're looking for a new job, or I don't know if you're ready to retire or if you're going to be looking for a new job, you may want to leave it in there just to have access to that, just in case it takes you longer to replace your previous income. And then you could always roll it over into your new 401k. That's nice to have that consolidated. And then you can always roll it over into an IRA, which that gives you access to a lot more different investments and strategies.
Yeah, that was a great point you made about if you're over 55 and you're between jobs and you may need to tap into it. What you don't want to do is take that 401k and roll it into an IRA, because then if you take it out before 59.5, you'll be subject to the 10% penalty in addition to taxes. So we see that occasionally. People come in and they were ill-advised, you know, and they needed the money between jobs or something. If they'd left it in the 401k, they could have taken it out and avoided the 10% penalty. So you want to be careful that you don't pull that IRA trigger too soon. And I see we have a call floated in there. Josh, take it away.
You got it. If you want to call in, 844-580-WDBO, open lines for you right now. Let's go ahead and go to Winter Park where John's calling in. Go ahead, John. You're on with the Certified Financial Group.
Hello, John. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for your help. I was just calling to ask you guys if you is there a cost associated with you evaluating a portfolio? And if you do take a portfolio on, how often do you consider rebalancing it? And when you do rebalance it, and after you've taken somebody on as a client, how often do you meet with your clients?
Great questions. Well, first of all, we offer a no obligation visit to our office, and we will do what we call a fiduciary score on your portfolio, and to show you the quality of you have, but more importantly, how it aligns with your own personal risk tolerance. So we offer that to our clients. If you want to come in, we do that, and we do that an awful lot because people understand that as fiduciaries, it's our obligation to be totally upfront with you. We're not trying to sell you anything, and if we can improve your situation, we'll show you how we can do that at no obligation. Your second question is, how often do we rebalance? We rebalance when the investments get out of balance, maybe 5 to 10% from their original target, and we will do that on an as-needed basis. And how often we meet with clients? Really, we meet with the clients as often as they want. Some clients we never meet with simply because they're doing fine. They don't need to see us, and they're welcome to call us and come see us anytime. There's no charge for it. There's no meter running when you come to our office. And some people stop in once a quarter. And some people I've seen here once a month. So it depends on our client situation. We know what's going on in your investments, and we manage for you. And we're flying that airplane, and you're sitting back, enjoying the movie and drinking the drink. And as long as your life is fine, we don't need to see you. But when things come up in your life, those situations, whether it's a job change, a family tragedy, or whatever it is, we're always here for you. And if you just want to come in and chat and have things reviewed, we're here for you as well. So that's how we work with our clients.
And as far as when the market changes, or you feel like the market is going to change, or something just doesn't seem right to you guys, do you call your clients and kind of just give them a heads up that this is what we want to do. And one other question is, in a portfolio, what amount of money do you kind of keep in cash to make a rebalancing, or, you know, for emergency fund for your client in the case they say, you know, I want to buy a car, or I need some money without having to actually sell some of the positions to get that money?
Well, this is where financial planning comes in, John. And this is when we work with our clients and do a plan, we look at what your cash needs are, and then we program that proportionally. And every client is unique. Every client has different needs. Every client has different resources in terms of what they can draw from and how big and then what you want to look at is what's the tax implications of those liquidations. That's where planning comes in. You know, good investing, as I've said time and time again, requires good planning. Unfortunately, most people don't take the time to do the planning up front. And as certified financial planners, this is what we've been trained to do, because this is where people can avoid making bad investment choices simply because they didn't plan on the things that you're talking about. And we know that life changes. And this is the beauty of what we're able to do today that we couldn't do in years past. The plans we set up are dynamic, which means that depending on how much information you give us and how much information you want to share with us, that plan can be updated for you on a daily basis, and you can dial it in and see it on your phone and see exactly what's going on. So that really keeps you in touch with us and keeps you in touch with your own personal finances. And you had another question there, and I'm not sure I answered for you.
With cash? How much? Yeah.
How much cash?
Yeah.
Well, that gets back to really what your needs are. That's what planning. Yep. That's what planning will help us determine. There's no cut and dried answer on that.
Everything's individualized.
Yes. So, John, if you want to take advantage of a no-obligation visit, we encourage you to give our office a call or go online and make an appointment. We'd love to see you in the office, and if you do, please ask to see me. I'd love to meet you.
Thank you so much, John, for calling in. One more segment for you to talk to Joe Bert and Wynn Smith with the Certified Financial Group, 844-580-WDBO. We got an open mic that just came through that we can play on the other end of this break as well. You're listening to On the Money, where we're planning today with the Certified Financial Group.
New to the area, but we're not. For more than 40 years, our certified financial planner professionals, acting as fiduciaries and providing retirement planning and asset management for a fee to countless families across Central Florida.
We've been with Certified since 1992.
We're now into the third or fourth generation of clients that have come to CFG and the team here to do a great job.
It's been so long since I've been doing this that I just don't even worry about anything anymore.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Black Monday, the dot-com bust, 9/11, and now 2 wars. We've pretty much seen it all. Acting as fiduciaries, our CFP professionals have been a steady hand guiding our clients to and through their retirement years.
No reason to be worried about anything.
Stay the course. You stay the course, and you get there.
I don't have to worry about it like I know a lot of people look at it every day. I don't have to do that with the team here at Certified Financial Group.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today. Are you tired of trying to reach your advisor through a call center and being put on hold for 20 minutes? That's why we don't use one, and our clients seem to appreciate the personal touch.
They always answer my questions and really care about what's going on with me.
You can trust what they say, and they do what they say, and it gives you a comfort feeling it's hard to find in the world today.
You know, waiting for you to call almost. You almost feel like that.
We're Certified Financial Group, where we're planning tomorrow, today.
As an investor, you want peace of mind. You need to know that your advisor is not only thoroughly competent, but also a fiduciary. In other words, he or she is acting at all times in your best interests. You need to trust your advisor, regardless of how much money you have to invest or what part of the world you're in. It might not be your money you're entrusting the advisor with. Perhaps you're a board member of a charity or foundation whose future depends on prudent investment. Or perhaps you have the responsibility of making investment decisions on behalf of other people. As the trustee of a retirement plan, the decisions you make can have a direct impact on the lives of your employees. Whatever type of investor you are, the solution is to use an advisor certified by the Center for Fiduciary Excellence. A CFEX certified advisory firm demonstrates its adherence to a global fiduciary standard of excellence, a defined standard with specific criteria covering 21 best practices. The documented, repeatable processes and the evidence-based decision-making that CFEX demands are more likely to generate investment portfolios that match client needs and expectations. And because the firm voluntarily agrees to a rigorous annual audit, investors can rest assured that their advisor continues to work to the highest professional standards. This independent verification is even more critical for trustees and investment committee members of retirement plans who are legally required to conduct regular due diligence on their service providers. Use a CFEX certified firm, and that job has been done already by an expert at no expense to the plan. So why leave anything to chance? Insist on working with investment professionals you can truly trust. Insist on using a CFEX certified advisor.
So you guys don't know Chicago, but I'm sure in your neighborhood you guys have an old school butcher where you walk in and there's a bunch of guys, no gloves, big white aprons, and there's Frank and there's Stevie and there's Mikey. And these guys know more about meat and more about animals and more about cooking the meat than any of us will ever learn. And so you walk in and you say, hey, Lou, I need to, I'm barbecuing this weekend, right? What do you like? And Lou goes to the big racks of stuff he has underneath the glass, and he goes, the veal chops, just in from Argentina, they are the bomb. And you go, veal? Oh, I like veal. Well, what do you got on skirt steak? Oh, we got some great skirt steak. Just came in yesterday from Montana.
Welcome back to On the Money here on WDBO AM 580, always streaming inside your WDBO app. We got Joe Bert and Wynn Smith with the Certified Financial Group here getting us through another great hour of On the Money. If you want to call in right now, 844-580-9326. But this episode's coming to a near end, so maybe a better way to get a hold of the team right now is to leave an open mic for your question for the next week's show. We can play it back like this listener.
Good morning, Joe and Wynn. This is Dean from the Villages. There are 100,000 plus villagers here that are either retired or have a good source of income. And I listen to you guys weekly and love it very much. But when are you going to open up an office here around the Villages area? Appreciate it. Bye.
Well, we certainly appreciate the call and thank you for being a regular listener. Yeah, we have a lot of clients up in the Villages. Some of them come down here. Some of them we've never met personally, and we do video. We have clients, I guess, down in about 28 states around the country, and some of whom we've never met face to face. So if you're interested in developing a relationship today with technology, maybe you make the initial contact, come to our lovely offices here in Altamont Springs, and then the ongoing relationship can be done virtually.
Thank you so much, Joe. We're having a bit of technical difficulties right now, so I'm going to keep on talking here for just a few minutes while Josh works on that on the board. We're going to try and get Joe and Wynn back on the air. Thank you so much for your patience. Again, Certified Financial Group. Joe had great things to say about the residents of the Villages. A lot of support in there, and I know he's having a great time. Joe, if we do get you back on the air, there might be a bit of feedback in your headphones. I want you to know you can just go right through that.
All right.
But I'm going to keep on talking again. Certified Financial Group, 844-580-9326 is the number to call. Josh, can you give me a little bit of music here for a second? And I'll try and work on that board here in just a few minutes. But again, as this show comes to a close, we can try and get him back on the air. But the number to call in, 844-580. Joe Bert, Wynn Smith with the Certified Financial Group, giving us great information from On the Money as they do every single week here on WDBO. Let me just try to play some of this music, and I'll try and get them up on the board. And again, I'll be right back.